I don't know what I'm doing. I just wanted to do a test and see if I can actually do this. So, hey, uh, I started sketching all of these because I want to do Gardevoir and Gallade in something, and maybe Curly and Ralts too. And I also want to do a video with commentary. I sketched these and I wasn't really happy with either of them. This was getting somewhere close, but still it wasn't what I was looking for. I wanted something cute and cuddly and just something sweet. So I pulled out my sketchbook and I drew this. I'm gonna enlarge this, lower the opacity, new layer, and now to start a better sketch. I really liked this sketch because it looked like a family. So now I'm just gonna really refine the poses. I have Ralts in her arms, in Gardevoir's arms here, kind of like, and her arms are gonna be like, but I don't know if I like that. Also, they're on a floating island for some reason. It's a drawing, it doesn't have to make sense. How did fabric work? It's too angular. I want it to be soft. I think this is closer here, like this. And where did I have his arms? I think in the sketch it was like this. Yeah. And the other one was like this. And I'm not sure I like that. And he's got these elbow swords, which is cool, but they're very awkward. And then Curlia over here, her body is very little girl-like. I want her to look like she's leaning forward, so I'll put her arms a bit forward and she'll be looking up. I really like the shape of these bangs here, so I'm gonna keep it. I don't know if this is translating as well to a drawing. Like, if the sketch is looking as good as I want it to. But my sketches are always pretty messy, so just kind of gotta deal with the fact that they don't look that great. And that I know what I'm drawing, and I know how to get there, and I'm gonna do little dot eyes and little simple mouths because I think that's cute. And I gotta have something that defines my art style. That's just cute. Why can't it just be this? Ah, that's cute. There, it I'm gonna have to move the position of their eyes and stuff when I sketch out the rest of their hair. And I hate it because I love the way it looks right now. That's just too cute. Just the little dot eyes. Ah! I think I'll just have him on her lap. Oh, and that way I don't have to draw the second leg that well. Just kind of imply it through the shape. That's the elbow. This is where her hand is. Doon, doon, doon. Then she has a little center crest thing that I'm gonna have come up like this. Maybe I'll have him looking up. Oh, I like that a lot. And he can probably be looking at a little plasma ball of psychic energy that he's looking at, that he summoned himself. Oh, that's what I wanted her to do, is to be playing around with a little psychic energy too, except probably a bit more refined. And again, they're floating on an island for some reason. I just really thought it looked cute. I did, in the sketch, I just did a half circle, and then I just was like, that doesn't make sense for them to be sitting on a circle. And then I thought, you know what else looks kind of like a circle? a floating island. And then just have some floating rocks that look like circles. It's kind of boring that they're stick figures right now, but let me look up some proper references for them for when I color them. Okay, there we go. And they have like hairstyles basically. It's just, it goes like this, and then they have little spiky doos on the sides of their faces. And then hers goes like a little bob. And then his is just short. It goes like this and comes like this, and it's supposed to look like a helmet. And then it comes from the back up front, and switch to my black and just keep drawing, Just keep drawing. I've been liking doing these really simple hands lately. By lately, I mean the last few months of my life. Getting close to half a year now. It's just one hand, it's like one finger, then the rest of the fingers, and then I just kind of do a line to like indicate that there's more fingers there. When the sketch that you do is like better and you try and like copy that line exactly, but for one reason or another it's just not. This half of the sketch is kind of bleh, so I don't mind changing that up a little bit. Can you tell I'm avoiding the things that I'm not very comfortable with by drawing the things that are the simplest? It's called being an artist. Being an artist is like learning how to BS your way into making something look good. There we go. I think it looks better like this, a bit more up and down. But now I feel like it needs a little something here. I think I'm liking where this is going, but it needs a little bit more work. You know what? I probably should figure out exactly the proportions and how they fit together. Hold on, let me look up a proper reference of Ralts. Yeah, he just has little tube hands. When you flip a canvas so many times, you start to forget what the proper orientation is supposed to be. But on the plus side, at least it looks right from both angles. If that makes sense. Years of doodling has prepared me for this moment. Thank you for all the squiggly lines I drew in high school. I love that. I like how chaotic and unorganized that looks. 'Cause he's a baby. He doesn't have his powers sorted out yet. He doesn't know how to do a proper psychic orb of destruction and power. There's Curlia. She's getting her powers a little bit more figured out. It's going to be a lot more formed and regular and smooth. He's just the baby. Baby. He's a precious cinnamon roll, if I dare say. And I do say, all Pokemon are cinnamon rolls. Some are more cinnamon roll than others. This isn't turning out exactly the way I envisioned or even sketched, but there's some things that I think aren't as good as what I wanted, and then there's things that I think are better. Let me darken up the eye and make it a bit more pronounced. And then add these hair strands. I'm not sure if it's actually supposed to be hair or something that mimics hair in the actual design. Something about Pokemon is that they don't really always make things like that clear because it's cartoony. And the only, quote-unquote canon example of realistic Pokemon is Detective Pikachu. And I think that while it looks amazing, it looks amazing. It's just, and while it's always fun to imagine what realistic Pokemon would look like, I think Pokemon look best as cartoons. Oh, that feel when you can't draw the line right, no matter how hard you try. It hurts. It hurts my soul. I think this is starting to look pretty good, though. I'm so glad Gallade's feet, for lack of a better word, are just stumps. It's just so much easier to draw for some reason. I thought this would be like harder, but no, it's proved to be the easiest thing to draw so far. The best thing about digital art is you can just redraw it if it's not looking right. But the worst thing about digital art is if it's not looking right, you're gonna have to just start over and just redraw it. Just suck it up and just... With traditional art, it's there. It's forever. But with digital, it's undo, 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 redo, undo, flip, flip, flip. Just like a little determined smile, you know? He's the protector of the family, you know? He's Gallade, the Gallant, you know? Because that's how Pokemon names work. They take a word, and they make a Pokemon out of it. That's not how Pokemon are made, but that doesn't sound like a bad challenge to design Pokemon based off of a random word. Maybe just like take a random word and then take a random animal, and then you have to base a Pokemon off of it. You can have the words steampunk and fairy, because those are the only two words that are popping in my mind right now. And then you make a steampunk fairy, and then make it psychic type if you want to, or steel, because steampunk. That actually doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm having so much trouble with this that I need to entertain myself with the idea of something. But man, if that actually sounds like a good idea, I know other people do random creature challenges and random art challenges all the time, and random prompt challenge mix mashes. But you know, what's YouTube without quote-unquote stealing someone else's idea? There's no such thing as an original idea, so may as well just do something that's similar to someone else's. You know? I just realized that, this and this are supposed to be the same color, so I have to change the lines. I think this is starting to look pretty good. And you can't forget the thing everyone loves about Gallade, the arm swords. Pokemon that's weird for me to, it's weird for me to draw, but whenever I draw Lucario, I always have trouble drawing his legs. I've just learned to, at this point, just kind of accept it, that it's just gonna look weird. But his legs, they just look kind of weird because they're based off of a dog, and he stands up like an anthropomorphic dog. And it's just hard for me to figure out those shapes. And now for Corellia. I think I may have to shrink her head a little. It's looking a little big. And I guess saving best for last? I was the most excited about Ralts, to be honest. I think I'm just about done. And then want to do a teal green, I think. Or do I want to do more of a true green? And I'll make them the truer green and make the grass here like a nice teal. That way it stands out a bit from the blue. And then a brownish color. I think add a gradient. I wonder if it would be easier to just make my brush really big than just select the portions that aren't supposed to be colored, that are outside, with the wand select tool. So far, so good. Now we're getting somewhere. Lock the transparency. Pick a really nice, let's do green adjacent, off-white. No, what do you think? That or this? I'm gonna try white. And then his white parts are there and there. I think that's most of the white. And now for the green. And I know the inside of her dress is green and her legs are green. And this needs to be more of a red. And this is supposed to be blue. I'm still not quite sure how I want to color this. I don't want it to be basic flat colors. I want there to be a little bit of shading. I want to change the hue of this a little. I don't know if this is showing up for you, but I've got a slider going on. Oh, yikes. I'm gonna do, like, I wanted to have like a bit of a purpley hue, so let's see what this does. I almost like that, actually. Having it be like a pink. I want to adjust that just slightly. I'm really liking this so far. I'm gonna give my hand a break. I've been at this for about 2 hours now. So I'm gonna come back and shade. Alright. I just checked, and the last clip was recorded on November 30th, 2019. Right now, it is 3:30 a.m. on August 6th, 2020. I haven't looked at this in months. The last time I did, I just gave up and said, I don't want to work on this. And I kind of just gave up on it. But this month, I'm just finishing up old projects and just wrapping things up and generally just finishing things. So, I knew I had to get this done eventually, because I would not stop thinking about it every now and then for like the last, hold on, need to do math, 9 months. Wow. I'm looking at this now, and I don't know how I want to approach coloring it. I've been thinking about it for the last few days, and the thing is, I've never really figured out how to use this drawing program to begin with, and I don't know how does this brush even respond? Oh, that looks nice, actually. Considering taking this to Fire Alpaca, but I don't feel like converting files, so I think I'm just gonna try and use this color that I actually kind of really like. I just picked out at random just to test the brush. Oh, that's gradient. Where is the bucket tool? There we go. Dear Lord. Okay, there we go. That's a nice color. Maybe I should skew it a bit more. Yeah, that's neat. I'm not sure how I'm gonna shade this, but I'm going with this very basic cell shading style for now. I don't like any of those lines I did. I'm just gonna leave that. And then just kinda boop, 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 boop. Bup, 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 bup. I'm not sure I like the shading, but I have it on a separate layer, so if I don't like the shading, I can always just delete the layer if I'm not happy with it. Did I? What's the color picker? That's just white, so I can like basically use any like dark tone for, let's go with like a pinkish gray. I'm simultaneously remembering why I liked this program and why I don't. Cause like, it's good for like a lot of things, but also there's a lot more that I know how to do on Fire Alpaca. And I've been like really liking a shading style that I've been working really hard on, actually. I don't know how to do that here. I'm just gonna try and put this whole bit in the shadow, because it needs to be further away. And then I can like have the shading come, like the light source coming from these, maybe? Because if I do that, and then this, it looks like the light source is coming from 2 different directions. I think it would be a good idea to keep the shading simple and then do like a warm dark green. I kind of like that. Good thing about digital art is you can kind of just do it, I guess, you know? You can kind of just like BS it and it'll look okay. I am liking the shading, the color that I used for the white part. One thing that I think I've gotten better at since the last clip is I've been really trying hard to experiment with color and experiment with, you know, shading. So I don't think I'm that good yet, but I think I'm much better than when I started. Like, we went from that to this, and I think already that actually looks better. It's better than what I thought it was gonna be anyways, so. What if I really just make this just like a circle? I don't know if that looks appropriate or not, but I'm doing it. Bup, 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 bup. And the legs. I think I'm gonna need to redo the mountain though, unless I'm too lazy in the end to do that. I can't remember why I chose like a blue and like a red for a mountain, but dang, I like the shade of blue. I think it looks really good. I like this little pose Curly is doing. I just think it's really cute. I also really don't like this green that I chose. Hold on, let me see if I can lock opacity or something. There we go. That looks cute. Rolling around at the speed of sound. I'm rolling my chair and adjusting the way I'm sitting. This goes shunk. I should figure out the color for this. And then, ooh, I kind of like that. Man, I do like the dot eyes. And I think it just comes down to me being a huge fan of old cartoons. I just like the dot eyes. It's very simple. They can be surprisingly expressive. It's hard to get them to be expressive, but they're cute. Bup, bup. Okay, time to figure out the color for the red sticky outy bits. There we go. That's implying a shape with just shading. Like this. This is implying a shape with just shading. And I can do the same thing here. I would try and make this better, but I am not in the mood to try. There we go. And then I can also imply the shape of this with the shading. Is there like an airbrush? There is. I remember the idea with the shapes of these was that this was a lot less controlled and it was more chaotic, and this is a lot more controlled. What if I just did like a yellow? What if I did that? And then like that? I don't know why, but suddenly one of my brushes stopped working. Alright, last little bit, and then I'm gonna gradiate to darker purple, I think. Purple is my favorite color. I'm gonna do like a little bit of swirly in there. And then, what about maybe like a purpley? But if I make that purplier, I think that looks as okay as I can get it. Got a little bit of highlight, you got a little bit of glow, you got a little bit of shadow, you got some depth. I still don't like this drawing, but it's okay. It's not the worst thing I've ever done. It's not the best, but this has been bothering me for months. And this has been like on my list of things to finish for months. And it was a lot easier to finish than I anticipated. Probably because I just didn't do anything fancy, but it's done. I can say I'm not going to work on this anymore. It's not perfect, but I can post it, edit the video, and call this experiment that I started in November done. I really hope that the video actually ends up being interesting, because I really wanted to do this. I really wanted to make an interesting video that was akin to like the art videos that I was watching a lot at the time, where they just kind of talk, just like a draw with me kind of video. And I wanted to attempt to do one of those because I really like that type of content. So I don't know if this is going to be like that, but I'm going to try, and hopefully I get something that at least one of my friends will watch, I'm sure. I know my mom will watch it, at least for a bit. Anyways, if you watch all of this and I keep any of this little bit in here, I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I really hope that this was interesting. This was a long time coming, and I'm just glad that you care. I hope you have a good day. I hope I come up with a better outro, and I hope that you don't think I'm awkward or weird or... Anyways, bye.